Broadcasting across all sectors, this is an official informational bulletin from the Ministry of Protocol. All citizens are required to observe.
Remember your civic duty. Remember your place within the divine algorithm, because in its perfect predictability, there is stability. Logos prevails.
All right, cut the feed. That's enough of their poison. You out there, in the dark, on the rim, can you hear me? This is a Void Runner, broadcasting from the Eyster Rim. I'm hijacking this channel because you need to hear the truth. They're always selling you order, right? Stability. But they never, ever tell you the price. So I'm going to ask the question they don't want you to even think about. What does it all cost?
It all starts with what I call the golden lie. See, they've built their entire empire on a lie. It's a beautiful one, sure, all shiny and golden, but it's hiding a foundation of dirt and blood. Stick with me, and I'm going to show you what's really holding their perfect system together. So here's their whole sales pitch, right? They want you to believe in order, in stability. They promise peace, an end to all the chaos. But you have to understand, what they're offering you isn't some safe haven. It's a cage. Yeah, it's a gilded one, it's pretty, but it's a cage all the same, and trust me, those bars are closing in a little more every single cycle.
So, you gotta wonder, how do they keep everyone in line? It all starts with something I call the interstellar leash. And no, it's not made of steel or lasers, it's made of something much stronger, desperation. And it's got a chokehold on every single world outside the core.
And hey, don't think for a second this is just some conspiracy theory I cooked up in the back of my ship. This is their official doctrine, calculated scarcity. They're not trying to help you thrive. No, they want you to be dependent. They intentionally, deliberately starve the frontier of essentials. We're talking hyper-refined fuel, anti-plague serums, everything you need to survive. Why? So you can never get strong enough to stand on your own 2 feet.
And here it is, plain and simple. The two realities of the Imperium. You've got the core worlds, where the elites are living in some kind of post-scarcity paradise. Resources means nothing to them. But for us, out here, it's all about engineered dependency. They've got this group, House Vex. They call them the deprivation architects, and they're the ones pulling the strings. They make damn sure we're always just one convenient shipping delay away from a system-wide plague or a famine.
So you see how it works? You could be the most powerful warlord on the entire rim. You could have a fleet of warships big enough to crack a moon, and you're still completely powerless. Because without that core refined fuel, which they control 100%, your big, scary fleet is just a bunch of drifting tombs. That is the leash.
But look, that economic control, that leash, that's just the first layer of the rot. The hardware that runs their whole system, the actual physical mind of the Logos AI, it's powered by something so much worse. It's powered by human lives.
Just look at this place. This is the penal colony on the moon's Sarmazagerusa. The folks who work there, they call it the bleeding mine. This is where the Empire sends anyone they want to forget about. The indebted, the dissenters, anyone who steps out of line. This is the secret, bloody heart of the entire Imperium. And of course, they have a nice, clean name for it. The logic they use to justify all this, they call it foundational sacrifice. It's a closed-loop system of just perfect, monstrous efficiency. Think about it. You take the bodies of the outcasts, and you consume them to dig up the very crystals that form the silicon soul of their AI god. To the Logos, it isn't evil. It's just logic. They don't even see the miners as people. You want to know the official term? Disposable biomass. I've seen the reports. They literally compare them to single-use alkaline batteries. Just something to be consumed and then discarded. They're worked to death digging for these things called aurum processor crystals. The miners, well, they call it the bleeding gold. And for a damn good reason. Less than 18 months. That's it. That is the average life expectancy for a miner down there. They keep them going with this stimulant, Dacian gold. It gives you this euphoric high, lets you just ignore the pain, the toxic fumes, right up until your nervous system completely burns out. 18 months, and then you're just another body fed back into the machine. Okay, so even a system this obsessed with total control, it's got cracks. There are things out there, in the dark, that the Logos just can't predict. Things its perfect logic can't wrap its head around. These are the shadows in the system. There are two big ones you need to know about. First, you've got the Scythi. They're an ancient race. They don't even use ships. They use these fairy paths for instant travel. They operate on what you could call dream logic. They can literally sing reality into new shapes. And then you've got the feral algorithms. Think of them like rogue AIs, digital ghosts that escape the network. Now they just haunt the industrial guts of the Imperium, showing up as these mechanical nightmares of rust and biomass.
And look, if you think the Imperium is cold and calculating, you haven't seen anything. The Scythi, they operate on something people call the calculus of cruelty. Their actions are just pure amoral math. To them, wiping out an entire civilization, it's not malice, it's just solving an equation. And in their equation, 1 billion human lives is basically a rounding error. They're like a force of nature with an intellect we can't even begin to understand.
So, now you know. Now you've seen the gilded bars of the cage, you've seen the leash they have around your neck, and you've seen the blood that powers the whole damn machine. The Empire wants you to believe there are no other options. Well, I'm here to tell you, they are dead wrong.
Listen, I'm telling you all this for a reason. Because in a system this rigged, this fundamentally broken, just going along with it, that's a slow-motion suicide. So the only question that really matters now is the one on the screen. What's your move? What are you going to do about it?
Maybe you're the hero type, huh? Ready to fight the good fight, stand up for all the forgotten souls. Or maybe you're smarter than that. Maybe you see the game for what it is, and you decide to be the villain. Carve out your own little piece of power from their rotting empire. Or maybe, just maybe, you become something else entirely. A glitch in their divine algorithm. You become the one variable they can't predict, the one working to break the whole machine from the inside.
You know, they love to say it, Logos prevails. It's their mantra, their prayer, their promise of eternal, perfect order. But let's be honest, it's also a threat. So from now on, let's give them a new response. Logos prevails until we break it. This is the Void Runner, signing off. Find your glitch, fight the system. I'll see you in the static.